Holy cow, is the Nubia Z70 Ultra still a game-changer 6 months after its release? This phone promised mind-blowing value with a 3nm Snapdragon chip, a quirky camera-inspired design, and a price that doesn't make your wallet cry. But does it still hold up in 2025, or has the shine worn off? Let's dive into this long-term review and figure out if the Z70 Ultra is still worth your hard-earned cash. Alright, I've been using this phone as my daily driver for months now, and I'm spilling all the tea: design, performance, camera, battery, and whether to steal at its current price. Stick around, hit that like button if you're a tech nerd like me, and let's get into it. First up, let's talk about this design. It's wild. The Nubia Z70 Ultra looks like it time traveled from a 2010s point-and-shoot camera. That chunky, staggered camera module with bold colors and dual glass panels? It's like nothing else on the market. I've had people stop me at coffee shops asking, "Yo, what phone is that?" It's a conversation starter, for sure. The flat aluminum frame feels premium, with these tiny chamfers that make it super comfy to hold. At 6.85 inches, it's a big boy, but it doesn't feel like you're lugging around a brick. It's got that reassuring heft, you know? Plus, it's IP68 and IP69 certified, so it laughs at water, dust, and even high-pressure jets. I've used the underwater camera mode while snorkeling, and yeah, it's gimmicky but kinda fun. Oh, and can we talk about the extras? There's a 2-step shutter button that screams, "I'm a camera phone." It's great for quick shots. Plus, a customizable switch for toggling sound modes or launching apps. Love it. There's even an IR blaster. When's the last time you controlled your AC with your phone? It's oddly satisfying. The box is stacked, too. You get an 80-watt charger, a USB-C cable, and a solid silicone case. Nubia is not skimping here. Any gripes? The design's polarizing. Some of you might find the camera a hump too in your face. But for me, it's a vibe. What do you think? Hot or not? Drop it in the comments. Now the display, chef's kiss. This 6.85-inch AMOLED is buttery smooth at 144 Hz. Honestly, I can't tell much difference past 120 Hz, but it's nice to flex those numbers. The real star? No, punch hole. The under-display selfie cam means you get an uninterrupted view for Netflix or gaming. It's immersive, like you're diving into screen. Brightness is solid at 1845 nits for partial loads, though it drops a bit when a whole screen's white. It's not quite as dazzling as a Galaxy S24 Ultra, but holds its own outdoors. Colors are vibrant, with near-perfect accuracy, though I've noticed a slight yellowish tint on grays in super nerdy tests. Minimum brightness is a bit high at 3.4 nits, so it's not the best for late-night scrolling in bed. Biometrics? The under-display fingerprint scanner is decent, but slower than ultrasonic ones. Face unlock is lightning fast, but less secure. I stick with the fingerprint most days. Overall, this screen's a banger for price. Anyone else obsessed with HoloLens displays? Let me know. Under the hood, the Snapdragon 8 Elite is a beast. This 3nm chip is Qualcomm's finest, and it's overkill in the best way. I've thrown everything at it. Genshin Impact, multitasking with a dozen apps, 4K video editing, and it doesn't even flinch. My 12GB RAM model with 256GB storage feels like a rocket, and you can add virtual RAM if you're a power user. There's even a 24GB RAM, 1TB monster, if you're feeling extra. Benchmarks back it up. It smokes the Galaxy S24 Ultra in multi-core tests and crushes gaming scores in 3D Mark Extreme. Thermals are on point, too. It gets warm after 20 minutes of gaming but never hot, and frame rates stay rock solid. I once played Call of Duty Mobile for an hour straight, and it was like, is this phone even trying? Software is running Android 15 with Nubia's Nebula OS. It's clean, lightweight, and bloatware-free. Just Google apps and a few essentials. Customization's deep, but the interface feels a tad basic compared to Samsung's One UI. Nubia promises 3 years of updates, including Android 16, which is solid but not class-leading. AI features? Meh. There's real-time call translation, but nothing groundbreaking. I just tap the power button for Gemini AI when I need it. The camera is where things get complicated. The main sensor's got a variable aperture, f1.6 to f4.0, in pro and street modes, which is cool for nerds like me who tweak settings. But in auto mode, it's stuck wide open, so don't expect miracles in bright light. The 70mm telephoto, 2x zoom, is solid but a step down from the Z60 Ultra's 85mm. The ultra-wide's 122-degree field of view is great for landscapes, but quality drops at tighter focal lengths. Photo quality? It's a mixed bag. The main and telephoto cams nail details and colors, but dynamic range is weak, shadows get crushed, highlights blow out. Zoom in and you'll spot over sharpening. The under-display selfie cam's okay in good light, but turns portraits into watercolor paintings. Video's mediocre, with noisy footage and poor audio. I filmed the sunset, and the highlights were just gone. The camera app's packed with modes, but the interface is clunky and most features feel like fluff. Compared to a Pixel or iPhone, it's not in the same league. If you're a casual shooter, it's fine, but don't expect to flex on Instagram. Battery life though? Unreal. The 6,150 mAh silicon carbon battery is a tank. In my tests, it lasted 20 hours of web browsing, nearly 13 hours of video streaming, and 13.5 hours of gaming. Real world use? I'm getting 2 days with moderate use. Social media, Spotify, some gaming. Heavy users might need a top up by night, but it's still impressive. Charging's quick at 80 watts, hitting 75% in 30 minutes and full in 44. That inbox charger is a godsend when brands like Apple and Samsung make you buy one separately. No wireless charging, but at this price, I'm not mad. This battery's a major win. So, is the Nubia Z70 Ultra still a steal? Let's talk numbers. As of May 2025, the Z70 Ultra's new price is around $729 for the 12GB per 256GB model, based on recent data. On the used market, you can snag one in good condition for about $550 to $600, depending on storage. That insane value for a 3nm Snapdragon 8 Elite phone. Most competitors with this chip, like the now available Galaxy S25 Ultra, will set you back $1,000 or more. The also available OnePlus 13 is closer in price, but still a bit pricier new. The used price makes it a no-brainer for budget-conscious techies. You're getting a premium design, a killer screen, and flagship performance for mid-range money. But the camera and software hold it back from being perfect. If you prioritize photography or a polished UI, you might want to check out the Galaxy S25 Ultra or OnePlus 13, which are out now. And yo, we got videos on both those phones coming soon, so stay tuned for that. Which one's calling your name? Drop in the comments. So, is the Nubia Z70 Ultra still worth buying in 2025? If you're after raw power, a unique design, and marathon battery life on a budget, heck yes. That $729 new price, or $550 used, is unbeatable for what you get. But if you're a camera buff or need top-tier audio, you might want to shop around. For me, it's been a fun ride. I love the quirky vibes and blazing performance, but the camera's been a letdown for my sunset shots. What's your take? Would you grab this phone, or are you holding out for something else? Smash that subscribe button, drop your thought below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.